Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Grey Ogre Games Invitationals monthly tournament here at Grey Ogre Games. My name is Mick. I'm one of your hosts alongside the Guardian. Okay, I don't know. Well, I'll figure
We
it out.
just
I'll
call
figure it out.
the Canuck, the Canadian Canuck.
What's a Canadian Canuck?
It's-
So now I'm like,
It's usually a term that what you describe a Canadian, you call them a Canuck. And
is it
if
derogatory?
I thought it's like a shark or something, some sort of like. I actually don't know what it actually is, but we've been always referred to as a Canuck.
Canuck.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
The Canuck sounds a lot better. Yeah. That's Felix, and of course it's Dennis Seed.
Special guest.
Yeah, special guest.
So I got buy this round.
We got by Team Luxac.
No, I'm team.
Actually, no, team lose everything
no,
and then
it's
get
called say
Luxac.
no to the 10%.
We're watching the match here between Eric Xia on the left and Xavier Tang on the right. On our side feature match, we have Ju Ya Tiong, and Joseph Tan as well. Do we have the team names? Do we know the team names? Danny will help us discover what the team names are. Because team names, like everything is in the team names, man.
It looks like we have a matchup of blue-white control versus maybe a blue
red.
moon. It could
Oh,
be
is this Blue Moon?
yeah.
Aha, okay, all right.
Mhm.
So yeah, we do see the Blood Moon here, but Eric here has 3 mana open, and Xavier just goes for it. Okay,
Which is very so end of turn, they're going for it. I presume this is end of turn.
a Field of Ruin to destroy Xavier's Steam Vents.
Which is a very good kind of heads up play for Eric as well, so that he can start getting some basic. So
Right.
he's not as affected by
By the-
Blood Moon.
Yep,
Yeah, so anyway, the team, Eric's team is called Team Zest.
Team Zest.
Yeah. Then
Zest.
the Xavier's team is just Tang Lim Tan.
Tang Lim Tan.
Yeah. It's quite catch though, like you know.
Oh wait, your mic's not connected.
Damn son.
Can you pull up? Danny, can you pull up the cord? Aha, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep.
You try?
Yep. Hello.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So
Okay.
Eric's team is Team Zest, while Xavier's team is Tang Lim Tan.
Team Zest as in like ZESS or
Zest.
ZST. Oh, Zest. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure what that means though.
It's a washing detergent, man.
Really?
Right?
Really?
It is, yeah, Zest washing detergent.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So Eric here remands the remand. No? Oh no, he
click.
the V click gets remanded.
So for a control matchup, what is really important is who can develop the mana base a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I think both players are very short on land. They don't have any extra land in their hands, so I presumably what Xavier is trying to do with the op is to really dig for land drops.
I think
Yeah.
Xavier has a land. It's a mountain.
Is there
I think he just drew that.
man?
out?
He drew like spells, lightning bolts. He got like triple lightning bolt in hand. Not ideal,
Oh wait.
unfortunately.
So it's
Xavier here is just gonna run out a Blood Moon and try to get it to resolve.
This is actually very risky for the Blue Moon player, because if this Blood Moon didn't resolve, and then
Eric follows up with like
or
Geist of
Gideon
Sintraf
or
yeah,
anything like
yeah.
that, and then it would be extremely hard for Xavier to answer that.
Mhm.
it's a high risk, high reward play. Like if Xavier didn't have the answer, he'll probably only have like two plains and one island, or two islands and one plains. So I guess
Yeah, but I don't think like it's high reward either, because Eric here could just fetch for basic planes and go like Gideon 4 mana Gideon, start making tokens, and then Xavier just doesn't have an answer besides his lightning bolts.
I think the biggest play for Eric would be to get an island, and to play a GTMS. Like that's like whoa. Like,
JTMS, while being very good, just doesn't it's not gonna kill Xavier, whereas that Gideon is gonna be like
I think any Walker.
Yeah,
would
any
just,
Walker.
would just be like
Walker,
absolute-
no pressure. Oh yeah, yeah, we're good.
So
we're good.
I think
down.
this play is actually like Xavier play is
Wow,
like very very.
three lightning bolts.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that lightning bolt resolve.
Actually, if I was Eric, I will not discard anything. I will not say anything, because I don't want him to draw additional land.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, but Eric here is gonna land his own Gideon, which is.
I think
pretty
taking
good.
out Jays it's reasonable. Just because
Wait, is that
if,
4 bolts or 3 bolts?
Three
volts.
bolts.
Because
Oh.
if Xavier able to draw a land next turn, then he can presumably play Jace face seal plus a lightning bolt to protect whatever threat that is going to come in its way.
Right.
So taking the Jays there, it's probably
One of the
reasonable.
better, yeah.
This is going to be a very draggy matchup.
yeah.
Right.
We do know that Eric does have a 3 mana Gideon, Gideon of the Trial.
Mhm.
So
But does he have the 4 mana Gideon? That's even better. Actually, Gideon of the Trial is like pretty damn good.
Wow.
that's
Oh,
a very
wow,
good
wow,
draw
wow.
to a basic island.
Easy game, people.
Magic in a nutshell.
Yeah. He could he's got detention spheres, no problem.
Yeah.
So presumably this isn't all his basics, right? I mean, like Field of Ruin. The fact that he's playing Field of Ruin means that he's playing like more basics.
3 to 4 basics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
as in one more, 4 islands and like 3.
It's,
Four
yeah,
islands
they
is
usually typically like run 4 to 5 islands, 2 to 3 planes. So
So he's got enough of his colored mana. Gideon here hits the battlefield with Remand backup.
Oh, GTM.
Oh wow! And Xavier here drew a Jace the Mind Sculptor.
But
off,
it's not very
yeah.
good right now because it just dies. It just dies. Like,
A, yeah, it just dies, and then B is like Remand is the thing still.
okay, so
And,
so keep it
uh,
both top because he needs the islands. He needs the land.
this land is actually like very important where he can have the option to double bolt the
Gideon
and,
away,
and
right.
get it off.
Yep. Yeah.
The thing about the blue red deck is it has very little ways. It's very, like the burst is just so little. Like it relies so much on TT and like the Young
And
Fire
Blood
one.
Moon, yeah, it relies a lot on Blood Moon to just slow your opponent down. And the problem here is that Eric just has a
Is-
whole bunch of basics.
Is this Gideon indestructible or is it prevent all damage?
Let's check.
He has
Gideon.
indestructible and he prevents all damage. Prevents a target permanent from doing damage.
Because it's important because if it's just prevent all damage for when it becomes a creature, then if Xavier was trying to lightning bolt them after he animates, he actually does not take any damage.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
okay. So until end of turn, Gideon of the Trials becomes okay. Until end of turn, Gideon of the Trials becomes a 4/4 human soldier creature with indestructible and is still a planeswalker. Prevent all damage that will be dealt to him this turn. So yeah, so
So you can still lightning bolt. I mean, Xavier can still lightning bolt Eric and redirect it to the Gideon, and
Gideon, yeah.
take 3 counters off.
yep.
But if it was the other Gideon, the 5 mana Gideon Jura, which actually
Wow.
says prevent all damage, then this play would not have worked.
Mm-hmm.
Another
Yeah.
Vendilion click. So
Wow. Okay, so second V click here. Maybe I take the Jace, maybe.
Oh, speaking of Vendilion clicks, how do the Canadians pronounce it? Like Vendilion click? I know there's like a
Vidilian click.
there's a
Because there's a French, there's the French like click.
Click. Yeah.
Oh yeah, in French, Canadian French and like normal French like
It's-
totally
It's
different.
very different.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
very different.
Bahasa Melayu and Bahasa Indonesia, right?
I won't say that. Like the words are the same, but the
pronunciation?
the pronunciation, the enunciation of the terms are very different. I had a French and a Canadian French person verify this, and man, they speak like
It's almost like
totally different.
it's
Yeah,
different, like literally almost like a different language.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, this is weird.
Yeah, but I think like Xavier's like if we can do the advantage bar, I think the advantage bar is on Xavier right now because of the like Eric doesn't have any way to stop the Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Actually, he has his detention spear, but the Jace the Mind Sculptor already gained the value from the Brainstorm.
Plus, I mean, like he could keep up. You know, he could keep up mana to
Yeah, he's going for the slow play.
protect the
Like,
Jace.
I believe there is a detention sphere in Eric hand, so maybe the what Xavier wanted to do is to accumulate enough resources where he can protect the Jace from a detention sphere.
Yeah. So just he'll probably wait till next turn if Eric here is not going to be doing anything, but looks like Eric is going to be doing something. What might that be?
Verdict.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Supreme Verdict just for the Snapcaster Mage.
Actually, Xavier could opt to just cryptic bounce the
The
Snapcaster,
Snapcaster, yeah,
and then have
and
it
draw a card, yeah.
and then have a way to flashback that
here we have
cryptic
the
later
Jace the
on.
Mind Sculptor.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so JTMS here going to hit the battlefield, and
Oh, interesting to note, Eric actually runs Entry of the Angels.
a what?
Entry of the Angels.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
actually, this is all the blue eyes that are running now, Entry of the Angels. So
Yeah, that one copy, right, that
I
you
think one
can
or
like
two,
play with Jace. Ha ha
or
ha.
like,
Because
oh, I opt. Oh, it's Entry. Yay, miracle.
yay.
But surprisingly, like Ben, Benjamin Huang,
Yeah.
like he was playing Legacy that day, so it's opponent cast Entry of the Angel. So I didn't know that you can actually, in response to the miracle, you can Vendilion click in to bring down the Entreat, and you won't cast the Entreat will like fizzle. Like because the miracle will still happen, but the Entreat will. You can't,
Yeah, the trigger goes on the stack. You can't really cast it
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
So
and like
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a very interesting interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a very
it's a very specific,
Yeah.
extremely specific, but it actually is a very interesting interaction because that's a trigger. Miracle is a trigger that gets put on a stack, and you may cast it
Yeah.
off of the miracle trigger.
Yeah.
And so with the trigger on the stack, like you Vendilion click, yeah, I'm gonna strip your.
And I noticed a lot of
Terminus
players
away.
swapping jungle, especially today. Like
Yeah.
they brought me off into Liliana, and they immediately kick up the Liliana. But however, you can't really do that because
Oh, yeah.
there's still the Barbary Elf stack. So the
So the Barbary
Elf,
Elf
so
needs
they have
to
a window
resolve.
to bolt the Lily before the Lily resolve.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of players. A lot of players should know about that. But
Mm.
like, I see it's quite hasty.
It's instinctual to like, oh, okay, like everything resolves. I can't do anything with the Liliana. Alright, Detention Sphere does get rid of the Jace Mind Sculptor, and it's again back and forth, and back to Xavier's turn. Xavier is here at down to 10 life. Would he be running what's that, Battle Skull in his deck?
Better Skull?
Yeah.
No.
Well, Blue Moon traditionally runs at least like one Battle Skull, because
No, I
it's
don't-
just good.
No, I think this Blue Moon deck, I'm not sure what variant is running, but it doesn't seem to be the Pyromancer version. Probably just Snapcasters and Thing in the Eyes.
Mm.
And maybe a Torrential Gearhawk here and there. Yeah.
And Torrential Gearhawk is just like,
yeah, it's even modern plates. It's
yeah,
huge. Yeah.
like,
One-
why?
one to copy.
Although why? I have to question like why. All right, 6 mana, fine. 6 mana, you get a big fatty, just counter, cryptic command something away, but yeah, it's just 6 mana, man. You gotta commit 6 mana. Oh well.
6 mana is a lot in like,
6
control.
mana, yeah, exactly. 6 mana is
control-
like,
the control
I'm
meta.
tapping out to cast my Torrential Gearhawk. Okay, Eric just gonna pass back the turn. Wow, this match is just
I think it's like quite decisively in
Xavier's
Xavier's
favor,
favor
right?
now, especially with Eric cannot play Cryptic Command with his current mana base.
yep.
So it does lock out quite a bit of potential card that
Yeah, Eric can play, right? Or like series of cards that Eric can play because like he can only
Bolt.
alright, bolt in response to the off.
Yes, so is Eric going to show an Entreat of Angels?
Entry!
Well, I think Xavier does have a Cryptic Command in his hand, so
Yeah,
it
this is
wouldn't be
really-
he wouldn't be too wary.
Very difficult for Eric to kind of resolve
Yeah,
anything at this
entry.
point.
A lot of these control matchup, one is determined by the your development of your mana,
Mhm.
and second, it's which deck play at instant speed better,
Ah.
and also the casting cost of their threat. So for this instance, for the Blue Moon deck, it does play both instants a little bit better, and also that the threat costs two mana
Two or 3 mana.
yeah, which is much better than having to tap out 4 mana, 5 mana for a Planeswalker compared to the blue-white deck.
Actually, I see a problem with Xavier right now because I think he's running out of Snapcasters and boats. And those are like side of his win condition, and he's been using the boat to target like Vendilion Click, Snapcasters, and Gideon.
Yeah, but Vendilion Click is so powerful to just get off the board.
Yeah, but
man,
like I think he might be running out of threats. Might be running out of threats. I'm not.
might
too
be running
sure.
out of steam. Yeah, well, Jason Mind Sculptor is very powerful, but you still kind of need to kill your opponent, and there's possibility that you might just be able to kill. You might not be able to kill your opponent with a Jason Mind Sculptor. Okay, so Serum Vision's gonna see a whole lot of lands, even more lands. A Lightning Bolt. I don't think he needs the other land, and he thinks he doesn't need the other bolt.
Well, if Xavier does get to stick a Jace in play, then presumably he can just like face seal and go for the ultimate as a win condition as well.
Yeah. But that's tough. Like even then, like Eric would have just kept his hand and then make sure that if you know that you can't. Oh, okay, Celestial Calling. If you can't get rid of your opponent's Jace, then you sculpt the hand such that that last 7 cards is something that you can presumably win the game with. Although it's pretty tough, especially if
tough,
your opponent would have some form of control magic. To deal with you
Yep, and here we have the entry. Will it
for
resolve?
full cost. Oh, just doing it for 2.
It's probably leaving out mana to counter spell. That's all it has.
Dismiss. Oh no, not dismiss. What's the other one? What's the 3 mana one? Disapprove.
Disallow?
Disallow. Disapprove. Yeah. No, my parents.
Actually, I see
disapprove.
some people actually play disallow like modern.
Cryptic Command gonna negate your Cryptic Command and no follow up from Xavier.
This is actually a big swing.
It's
Yeah.
only for 1? Oh,
XX. White X.
oh,
X,
he
right?
he miracled it, I think. Yeah, he miracled it because
Wow. Okay.
wow. So thing in the eyes.
But he played the Colonnade, so it was he tapped 4 mana to make.
Eh? Oh yeah.
Yeah, he made tap 4 mana just to make one guy. Don't you wish now you had that reverse snap custom mage?
Oh,
Where I can
directly.
target my opponent's graveyard and like
Khan Father said Xavier is definitely winning the better basics at
better basic arts. Yeah.
No, it depends. It depends. I like the FBB. I like the FBB arts. That's very.
I think the original is Unclude the first set, the first
Unglued,
unset,
Unglued.
the first original set Unclude basic lands are by far the prettiest compared to all the other ones.
High five. High five. You are probably the only other person in Singapore who believes that like
Maxwell uses unglued lens as well.
all right, Maxwell. Yeah, I'm going out to give Maxwell a high five. Like I love the unglued lens as opposed to like unhinged and the unstable lens because like there's a border frame that makes it look like a picture, like a piece of art.
Yeah.
Like when you look at art, like it's not when you go to a museum and you look at art, it's not borderless. There is like a nice frame that is put in and it's put on the wall. So yeah. And I don't know, and the art is amazing. Like Johnny Yvonne's amazing artist.
So speaking of art, like we had this whole Dryad Arbor issues. Like,
Oh, yeah.
So like
Man, dude, don't bring it up, man. Don't
Like-
bring it up.
I actually I talked to a lot of people. They say that it's probably Nassif fault for not checking. Like
Yeah, it's what we
But-
affectionately refer to as the RTMFC. It's in the
yeah,
IPG.
but because like the art is totally different, like the frame and everything. Like
Right, yeah, exactly. It's hard
So-
not to notice.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's your take on the whole like Dryad Arbor?
Well, like it's obviously unfortunate that some people might just put it in a pile of lands and then just show it up as like a sun blocker.
Yeah.
But I think as players that you should try to make sure you understand what is in the battlefield,
Yeah.
so that you won't get caught on it. But at the same time, I think moving forward, Wizards can do better in terms of making sure whatever they print that it's easily recognizable.
Yeah.
But rather they should ban that card in particular right now, and just saying that you cannot play this version. It's bad press if they they were going to do something like this.
They need to like appeal to the higher
college,
authority. Well, yeah, like I said, like RTMFC, man. That is I forget what IPG ruling that is. I think 6.1 or something like that, or affectionately 6.x, affectionately known to many judges as RTFC. Read the card. And you know what the F stands for. Cass Ang there. Is this the dry arbor thing again? Yeah, Danny, stop talking about the effing dry arbor. Come on, man. Just stop.
Yeah, shouldn't you be studying for your exam?
Yeah, it's both players' fault. They don't keep track of it. End of story. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree that, like, you know, stuff happen on the battlefield, which makes for interesting TV. I like to watch all this stuff, but I don't like to debate it afterwards. Like,
Actually, did you realize that, like, I think that the most like people get caught on camera for like, making stupid mistakes or like doing illegal move and everything, and it's quite funny that they do it on camera. Right? Not sure. I'm not saying whether they're doing it intentionally or unintentionally.
some people don't do it intentionally. I think generally people don't do it intentionally.
I mean, for a lot of players, especially when we see it in Grand Prix
Pro Tour, yeah.
or even, I mean, not to the extent of the Pro Tour, for like Grand Prix or even the Star City Games Opens, a lot of these players have never been able to play under the spotlight of a camera.
Right.
Yeah.
It's stressful, right? I mean, like, you've been to the Pro Tour and you've been to like Magic World Cup. Like, it's you know under the camera, or even at that level of competition, it's stressful. You forget stuff. Like, it's not. Yeah, you know, especially if you're not used to it, like, you know, it can get to you. Even just playing on like day 2 of GP, when they tell you, hey man, this is professional level, and you're like, oh, professional level, and it's like, yeah, people mess up. Just forgive them. Cass saying, I'm eating my lunch while trying to watch some quality content, but I have to come in to listen to your dry arbor thing again. Yep, you do. Unfortunately, you do. And well, at least you're at home. You can turn off the stream. I'm here, stuck with said person, in what is presumed like it is a hot and stuffy today in the back room because said aircon does not work.
I think just back to the match, I think Eric should be very, very mindful on the time that's left on the clock.
Yeah.
If there's a game where, well, I guess he conceded right here, but he probably could have saved 5 minutes off the clock when he knows that he was so far behind that that he's likely not winning this game.
Yep.
Especially for these control matchup, it does drags a lot.
Right at the end, I mean, like, even at the end of the match, right? Like, it does drag on a little bit too much. Or it could drag on a little bit too much.
That's the judge question.
Yes, why is the judge? Yeah, War of Invention. And Leonid Arbiter.
Can I pay improvise? Improvise cannot pay for the extra 2.
No,
Alright.
it's not part of the cost of the spell. No, we try opening the window and it becomes even just hotter because
Inside all the things circulate around the area smell like shit.
oh yeah, it smells like chicken rice in here right now. Thanks, Danny. Cass yet to add more stuff to your list. Alright, we're watching the match here between Yationg and Joseph.
Wow, yeah, sounds like fought like 2 affinity.
Yeah, Affinity Mirror. Yeah, this is one of the decks that we were talking about, like, that doesn't utilize cards from any of the other decks. It's a very unique and standalone deck, and that's Affinity. Who else? I mean, like, who else in Modern plays Fire of Industry? Oh wait, Lantern.
Lantern,
Lantern,
yeah.
yeah,
So
okay.
you can either have a Lantern deck or Affinity deck because they do use a lot of the similar cards.
Yeah, Mox Opal.
Mox Opal, yeah.
Actually, yeah, just Mox Opal and Spire of Industry. That's about it.
But neither deck can function. I mean, or they're
Severely
downgraded
impaired, yeah.
if they don't have like Mox Opal.
Yep.
So the affinities matchup is actually very interesting, especially after sideboard. If in the first game is whoever dumped their hands quicker out and able to generate a board presence wins. But after sideboard, there's a lot of plays to it, especially when you take into account of cards like the red enchantment that's in play, the grid.
Girapur Aether Grid.
The
Oh, I
Grid.
love that card, man.
Yeah.
That's so good.
So it creates a lot of sub games as to how to battle that type of board positions.
Right.
And right now we clearly see how powerful it is, where Joseph is pinging off a lot of Juice board presence away
Yeah.
from it.
So yeah, nothing like Yachong just can't stick anything. Like you have, you've got Signal Pass, you've got Ornithopter. Presumably those die because of whoa. Mark, come on! I told you to make the announcement. Nobody's supposed to step through the camera. Yeah, nobody listens to me here. Whatever. No, but Girapur Grid. There goes the Signal Pass. He just has to tap 4 artifacts. Signal Pass dies. He just has to tap 4 artifacts and the Ornithopter dies. 6 artifacts and the Ornithopter dies. And that Master of Ethereum isn't that big. But right now it's what 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 4/4.
Yeah.
Like you could easily get rid of it. And now that Joseph here has a cranial plating, even better.
I think the safest play for Joseph is just to control the board, just start pinging down everything.
Yeah.
And then eventually he's going to win regardless.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what the life totals are.
But I don't see how Yachong can win. Like,
Yeah. Well, okay. So right now that Master of Ethereum is crucial because that's making her stuff like a lot fatter. It's harder to get rid of that Signal Pass, whereas it used to only take 2 artifacts to tap. Now, Joseph has to spend 1 turn just to get rid of the Signal Pass, 1 turn to get rid of the Ornithopter, and then finally start working on the Master of Ethereum. And if Yachong here just able to keep putting out artifacts, for example, what's that? The land, Darksteel Citadels, then that Master of Ethereum is not going anywhere. So yeah. Cat saying maybe we can get a second life counter for the table. Yep. Yeah. I agree. Unfortunately we don't. So
I have a spare phone.
go do it. No, but hey, what happened to your Pixel? Okay.
I have a spare phone.
Alright, use your Pixel lah. It's bigger. It's helps us read the live count live a little better.
My Pixel is used to text.
Okay, it looks like Eric and Xavier are shuffling up right now. They are so Xavier took that game. Let's change the score. The players only have like 21 minutes left, 20 odd minutes left to go. Yeah, and Joseph here, I think agreeing with you about just keeping the board state locked down. Does get rid of the Ornithopter. And would rather use the what's his name? The Master Overseer. The Steel Overseer to ping down Yachong stuff. So now that Master of Ethereum is only like a 2/2.
He could potentially make it to a 3/3, but then it means that it also exposes his land for it to get shot down as well.
Right. That's
But
not,
I think
that's
this
not
game
ideal.
is pretty bleak for
Yachong, right, yeah.
and maybe it's better for her to again save some time off the clock and try to go for the next game if there's another one.
Okay, we're going to go back to Eric's table, Eric and Xavier's table. Eric here looks like he has taken a mulligan down to 6, which is, well, not good, especially if you're playing like the control deck against the other control deck. But necessary because, you know, you might just not have the pieces, don't have the lands, don't have spells.
It's actually just most important able to hit your land drops. Like if
Yeah.
I can see a hand with 6 land, I'm like, this is auto.
Like, this is me.
This is auto keep in the.
I play against like I think one of the PBDQs I play against a close friend of mine. He only plays control decks. So he's playing like blue black control, like draws out the first hand, looks over to the other table, shows it in the hands like snap keep. I was like, wow, I'm scared because I played a lot of games with this guy. So I go, and for 7 turns he just lays like 7 lands. I killed him on like turn 7 or something like that. Then he tells me this was my opening hand. I was like, whoa, you have nothing else? And he drew like a few more lands after that. I was like, yeah.
So yeah, the Verdis
Like-
hand is only advisable to keep if you know you're facing a control mirror.
So yeah. But man, it's crazy. Like, you know, control players will like, oh, I've got 6 lands and 1 spell. Snap keep. Like this is a good hand because, like you said, control players or the control deck just wants to make sure that you keep your land drops going, especially if you know you're not playing against a very fast deck. You know, so yeah. Let's make it a bigger screen. It looks like Ya Tiong has lost that set of games. Yeah. And they are packing it up. So Joseph here takes it to 1 point for their team.
So after sideboard, while we don't know the exact list for Eric, but for blue white control, they have the options or potential options to sideboard into to get more threats, like for example like Geist of Singtrath, which is extremely hard for a blue red deck to beat.
Yeah.
The fact that they are hexproof.
Well, they need to. They could put up blockers. I mean,
They
step
could,
past the
yeah.
mages and stuff like that.
I must say this matchup is really just like there's not much action in the first like few turns.
Yeah, but it's building up. It's building up. Sculpting your hand, sculpting your deck. We see ops. We see I don't know. Was there a mana leak? Yeah, it looks like a mana leak on the thing in the ice. Xavier tried to put it down early. So it's all about just setting up and making sure that
Because the person who has more mana are able to play a threat plus an answer at the same
that
time.
turn, yeah.
And the person who does not have enough mana, it's they are either forced to make an action or they don't have enough mana to play 2 actions to respond to a threat.
Yep.
So again, this is all about developing the mana.
Yeah. Cass Ang here saying, "Hey man, put some team with Bloodbraid Elf on camera." I don't
I
think
didn't see any
Bloodbraid
Barbie Elf in the top table.
Yeah.
So, like,
I'm like, Bloodbraid Elf is such a powerful card. Why are people not playing it? But I don't know.
Top tables, no one's playing it. I think maybe Faisal's team are playing it, but
Then Bloodbraid Elf into like
they're currently I
Living
think 1 or
End.
2 or 0-3.
Yeah.
So
It is possible because Jun does take up a lot of cards in this format. And
speaking of that, yeah.
sorry. It is possible that Bloodbraid Elf playing in Jun does take up a lot of cards in the format for a unified format.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why we're not seeing as much presence compared to what would normally be a normal modern tournament.
Oh man, I want to see more Bloodbraid Elf. Like we do the streams on Wednesdays for modern. I haven't seen
there was
Bloodbraid
not
Elf
Barbie Elf on Wednesday.
on Wednesday.
Yeah,
No, but now they made it to the stream. What happened, man?
you didn't really.
Yeah, I didn't like that was okay. So granted, usually on Wednesday we got like max 15, 16 players.
No,
No,
we
no.
have 40 players.
Yeah, we have 40 players on Wednesday. It's like, what the hell
It's like a
happened?
PBDQ.
Yeah.
It's like a PBDQ.
No man, PB.
I think we got more attendance than some PBDQs in
Yeah.
Singapore. Like,
that was sweet, but man, again, this place turned into like a madhouse on Wednesday, which is cool because we have like a small we have this little cove for ourselves. Okay, camera went bonkers. There we go, camera's back.
But modern, it's just a testament of how great of a format modern is.
Yeah.
That there's you can play a bunch of different decks, and I think relatively, power level wise, they're not. You're not a supreme, like, underdog by playing a playing a deck that is not considered a tier 1,
A
tier
tier
2.
1 deck, yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Okay, there we go.
So we have the Blood Moon again, but this time I think Eric's prepared. Like he had the same islands and same number of islands, so it didn't really matter.
Okay, so camera back on track. There we go.
So Eric is currently stuck on 2 islands. They can't really do much.
Yeah,
But he's going to fire off the detention spear just to remove the.
gonna try to get rid of your Blood Moon. Do you have an answer like a cryptic command? Or we see Xavier have.
Damn, who's kicking the
So
camera?
Xavier does have a Logic Knot, which he can cast it for 5, but I guess he's up to.
That's a spell snare.
Oh wow, just a spell snare to deal with the remand.
Now, had Xavier cap his mana a little bit more
Efficient.
efficiently, I do believe there's a Logic Knot in his hand where he could have Logic Knot that sphere afterwards.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh yeah. It's
So no,
definitely-
but he's got. Oh.
No, yeah,
right,
it's
Blood
definitely a
Moon.
bad play of Lance. I think wow. He
Yeah.
might get punished, or he will get punished.
He will get punished because there goes the Blood Moon. I didn't realize that was a polluted delta. That's not that's not fetchable right now. And
Now he can fetch it. Now
Okay.
he can fetch it.
yep, great, fat.
But he's not fetching it. Why? Oh wow, we see a PR Nala.
Yeah.
A PR.
Which is actually a very great follow up after after Xavier forces Eric to kind of tap out on that turn.
All right. Maybe destroy all creatures. Supreme Verdict might be the follow-up.
I think I might ball out some verdicts in this matchup, like some amount, but not all.
And Xavier shouldn't be worried. I mean, like, he's still got Cryptic Command. I can bounce your detention sphere. Counter
I-
whatever you're trying to do.
I think what Eric really need to his actually right now, he's not just playing against his opponent, he's also playing against the clock as well.
Right.
So
yeah.
assuming, let's say, if his team need him to win, with only 12 minutes left to finish game
Oh
2,
no, they're gonna draw.
yeah, it's even if he does win, it's very likely going to be a draw.
Right.
Yeah.
So his team is
Oh,
currently leading one
no.
game right now. So I'm not sure about the other side, but I
I
think
know Xavier is like up one. Xavier's team is definitely up 1 point against.
I think it could be a tie because
Yachong- yeah,
Teng Wei
Yachong
is playing
lost.
against Lucas. And Lucas playing Hollow One.
Okay, did Lucas win?
It's a bad matchup against Tron. It's a good
Right,
matchup against
okay.
Tron. So I guess this is a deciding game.
Maybe Lucas, probably Lucas won.
And we.
I think
wow,
maybe the
so-
other match finished.
So
Oh,
so I
okay.
guess they won 2-0.
That is.
That's-
okay.
That's wow.
That was very anticlimactic. Sorry, folks.
Yeah.
But stuff like this happens when you're playing Team Unified Modern.
But
No, we gotta tell the people
To continue playing,
to,
right?
to
Yeah.
keep playing. You don't stop. No, but they want breaks. Like,
We want breaks too.
I know we want breaks, but then
but
Yeah.
the players too, they
Yeah, I
want
guess
breaks.
because it's not
It's
incentive
more important for them to take breaks because
Mm-hmm.
they get to recharge. But it's also important for us to take breaks because we can recharge.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, we'll come back in about 11 minutes. I don't know, 15 minutes time. I don't think everybody's done.
Yeah.
So do join us in about 15 minutes. We'll be back with round 4 of this 5-round Team Unified Modern event. Remember, you can catch us on the stream Tuesdays and Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Singapore time. You can also watch all the replays, youtube.com/GreyOgreGames, and do visit our website, GreyOgreGames.com, if you want to find out more about the Grey Ogre Games Invitationals. And last but not least, do share, subscribe, do whatever you all do on social media stuff. I don't know. I'm not very active on social media. I do promote it like, hey, like, share, subscribe. Hey, you're very good at it. Reddit, if you are on Reddit, give it a thumbs up.
Like, share, subscribe, upvote,
Upvote, yeah.
whatever.
Take a picture. Tell your grandma about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your mom thumbs us.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be back soon. Don't go away.